Oh my God. Oh my Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Is it working? Okay, we're gonna go with this because apparently it's working. Okay, I wasn't expecting this to work, so now that it's working, now I gotta make a freaking video because whoop whoop messenger, Jesus, bright balls. You guys, I'm like not angry, I'm not upset, I'm not frazzled, but let me tell you what I've been overlooking for a long time because I trusted that SOB entity being, the ones I'm sent here to help redeem, were actually being redeemed. And I have gotten to a point since last night where I was like, wait a minute, this is a trick. Excuse me. So I was talking to a friend on Facebook, and she said one word that I was like, why wasn't that word in my vocabulary all this time? And then I got angry, but not angry, but like, you know, when you find out, like, someone you know, not a physical person for me, like, this is beings on the other side, that someone I know has been fiddling with my life, and not just my life, but the lives of a lot of people while pretending to be better than they were. And when I found this out today and that name, I was like, oh, memory stuff again, huh? It's the Archons. It's the Demiurge. It's the Yaldabaoth. And then I was like, okay. But on its own, it didn't really, like, I was like, whatever. I'm not giving any power to that thing. But yesterday, I was playing Final Fantasy last night for a little bit. And someone called me by a name. Not the F name, not the B name, like the name that Big Mama gave me, not the name Big Daddy gave me. So they called me that name in the video game, and I was like, electronics, shady people, bullshit energy, archons. The other day, I posted this also in the message thing, community board, about a vision I saw of a shadow man and a white frog. And then I log into the game, and there's a shadow man and a white frog, like players dressed up as that. And I'm like, oh, Yaldabaoth's getting kind of ballsy. And then this morning, earlier today, after dealing with bank issues yet again from Advia Credit Union, absurd. Every time I check that bank account, the numbers are different every single time. And if any check I have, like, is scheduled to be paid, somehow, between the landlord, the building person, and the person cashing the checks, they always manage to make sure it's like cashed at some point where the bank error says that I have just $1 less than the amount needed to cash a check. And mind you, I'm living on $931 a month. So a bounce check is like bonkers. So these beings have been at it for a while, and apparently it's not just stuff they're doing to me, it's globally. And I've been kept in this little teensy weensy box, focused on how to survive each day while the world is going crazy, and these people are stealing from me, these entities, and creating a society based on things they've learned from me and the wisdom I've gained through the massive amounts of trauma they've induced in me. Because they don't want to do the work themselves. So they're like, we're going to make you do the work, and then we're going to siphon all that off of you, and we're going to give it to the collectives, and then we're going to make money off of that shit. I'm using the beeswax again. Get over it. Side note, if you guys want to send anything, Venmo works, PayPal works. They don't go through that bank account. They stay in their own thing. So you guys can send whatever you want to send to those things. Just make sure that it's the ones you link to from my description box, not one from comments or any other platform. Because there are also people pretending to be my birth name out in the world, dealing with inheritances, trying to steal it. There's multiple other card readers who are working with certain organizations who are constantly reading about my life and making money off of it. There's some new Netflix shows that are blatantly rip-offs off of my life and my life story. So these beings, I'm not saying this to be like, oh, poor me. I'm saying this because you guys are living in a society based on the results, most of you guys at least, the results of traumatizing and forcing wisdom to be gained through traumatization and experimentation, so that those falsely earned wisdoms can be passed to the collectives to make money. Because all they want is money. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. The conversation I was having with the lady neighbor the other day, when I was telling her that these people, these 30-some-year-olds, are the same 10-year-olds we knew in the 1980s and early 90s who ended up having children. And we were praying and begging the universe and jokes to be like, don't you let those people reproduce. They're going to fuck up society. Lo and behold, and then the absurd bullshit going on from my previous life being pulled back into life again by that being in the white hot room, which I assume is Jesus Christ or Mother Mary or the Great Mother. Like, it's a very nurturing energy. It's not a masculine kind of angry father God type of energy. It's a very nurturing, kind, loving, honest, justice type of energy. It's like being in the arms of your mother. Or like your older brother that you trust. Fully, like completely. So all this stupid stuff through archonic manipulation, to where these people online doing all this crazy shit are infected not only by toxoplasmosis, which I'm noticing a lot of animals and beings have, because even cats, like I'm noticing Henry that like goes towards things that are just blatantly like, what are you doing? Why are you going towards the hot frying pan? And he's like, and I'm like, why are you going towards that? Like, I'll give you food from it. Don't go towards the metal. And it's the same thing with these other readers, these other people, or these fake, people off the street that they give a deck of cards to, so that they can sit here pretending to be reading about a collective, but they're actually just using my life story and the life story of others who've been isolated and traumatized for this experiment. They're using that life story to condition society and people into a genetically traumatized hundredth monkey effect. by utilizing the results of what they've seen occur, work, and not work with people like me. And then these people are like, oh, this bitch is casting spells, this bitch is doing this and that. And I'm like, I'm just sitting here trying to figure out how I'm going to buy food for the rest of the month, because whatever the powers that were seem to think that eating one can of food a day for 30 days is enough. And then I sat down. I was like, I'm going to get, okay, they want to play this game. I'm going to get, a little more Virgo about it. I'm going to get a little Capricorn about it. So I started budgeting, counting numbers, addictions, sugars, vices, all these things I spend money on. And I'm like, I barely spend $100 a month on anything I would even consider an addiction or anybody else considers an addiction. Less than $100 a month. The rest of it goes to rent, bills, and then the excess that I would have, which is like $50 a month, $100 a month extra, just to, like, spending money, that goes to bank fees. And then I get told I'm doing all this crazy shit and shapeshifting badly and making all this money and like I'm, worshiping some kind of devil or some shit. And I'm like, y'all are nasty. And then the other card reader who like threatened to hire a hitman on me in her live stream, and then she was drunk as fuck. And then she deleted it the next day. She's like, I never said that. And then her hitman shows up and he's like, you're cool. And I'm like, do I know you? Apparently he's a neighbor now and he's just kind of taking care of me. Like, I don't fucking get it. And I'm not going to call them out with names and stuff because they know who they are. As far as I know, everybody knows everything, and I'm the only one that doesn't. Like that Sarah McLachlan song, Mary would be the last to know. So I've tried everything I can to create money, from writing books, making tarot decks, to doing whatever else, and putting adequate enough effort into it just to prove a point, including doing this YouTube stuff. And I'm noticing no matter what I make, the people watching it are the people profiting off of the wisdom I've earned. And I get nothing, literally nothing but bills, debt, and time from my life lost doing these videos for people who 99% of them would rather just I don't exist, or I'm just sitting here silently feeding them like a muse in a bottle, genie in a bottle for them, while they make up shit about me to justify their horrible, horrible behavior. And then they make up shit. Oh, she's a shapeshifter. Oh, she's this. Oh, she's that. Honey, you remember when I taught you about genetics years ago in those videos you weren't listening to, and I taught you how to do biokinesis and all these other things, and I told you with God everything's possible? Yeah, you weren't listening, were you? You were just busy judging me. That's okay. And then the other ones who were like, oh, this bitch is so feeling herself and this and that. And I'm like, you have no idea. You have no idea what I actually feel about myself. And it's actually kind of flattering that you think I think highly of myself. Like, I'm just here to make certain you people don't spontaneously self-combust as a species. And throughout this entire time, I have been abused so badly, all around money. I haven't even been injecting estrogen, estradiol valerate, because as most of you saw, the entirety of the 5 years I was on estrogen, it seemed like I was decaying, didn't it? And since the recent 6 months I've stopped taking estrogen, look at what's happened to my body again. What was I injecting myself with? Can anybody test it for me? Because I can't afford to send it to a lab. And then the bank, before me and the scribe, before I left, because he was dating his mother in our own house, and his mother called him my meal ticket while I was making them breakfast and cleaning the house, while they're sitting there playing Facebook games and talking about what drinks they had last night and how terrible I am of a partner. This dude made friends with the people at the bank, and the people at the bank have been fucking with me since. Isn't that funny? I've told the building coordinator and the local police department I've been stalked and harassed, and they're like, if you call us again, we're going to arrest you. That's what the police department said to me. And the building people, they're like, oh, that person's harmless. But that person literally has put hands on me so far. Like, literally attempted to rape me already. And then it's called an initiation. I'm sorry, when did I sign up to be fucked for your cult? Never. I'm dumbfounded. Like, amused and dumbfounded that this is actually what's been going on. And then, on top of all this, I called my mother. And most of you know my relationship with my mother. I love the woman. I love her. She was with me in my previous life. I love deeply. No matter how traumatizing the relationship has been, I've had a spiritual view of it to where I've understood and comprehended why these people so close to me have done these things, okay? Sorry, my nose is like super itchy right here. I don't know why. So I'll drink that later. I called them and I'm like, yo, this is going on and I need help. And they're like, we don't have that much money. I'm like, I just need like $30 or $50 or $100 just to make certain that the rent check doesn't bounce because of the $1 testing fee that Advia likes to do right before a check cashes. So my sister drives over here because I was supposed to go to the dentist. I didn't go to the dentist to get these readjusted and everything else because I have to go sell some Magic the Gathering cards to make money to go deposit it into the bank account to make certain that my rent check doesn't bounce. And if it bounces, then I need to figure out how to sell even more cards and jewelry that I've had for years so that I can make certain I can at least pay them in cash. That's on top of me attempting to start a business from home and trying to do this Etsy thing. But every time I try to mail anything out, it gets lost in the mail. So I'm not even allowed to work from home to create something to sell it. I'm just like, okay. And the cherry on top, the audacity these people have. This is a trial and tribulation from the Most High. No, it's not. This is theft, manipulation, coercion, blackmail, all sorts of those terrible words wrapped up with new age spirituality terms to justify things and try to get away around federal, state, and government law. What you guys are doing is actually classified as criminal worldwide. And I'm not talking about they or the shadow governments. I'm talking about these little people on YouTube who are associating themselves with things, and they're basically nothing more than pawns to these they. Cannon fodder. Why bother wasting money on actual people who have actual intelligence when you can get the people who you've stereotyped and archetyped into poverty and minorities and get them to do the dirty work for you by getting them to hate the other ones with different colored skin? There's other ways of racism too. It's not just white on black. So I didn't even think that I would be treated like a plantation owning white girl, considering I'm Middle Eastern and my ethnicity doesn't even have a country anymore because it got destroyed by other Middle Eastern countries, and then it got taken over by like British and American companies and countries. And then the history gets wiped out. So I'm kind of the last. And then it's like all this aside, the hormonal structure of the body, all those years of synthetic estrogen, and then nothing for 6 months. And no one to take me to the doctor, no one to do anything else. And why? Why has this been happening? Because testicles keep creating testosterone. Estradiol Valerie goes in there and says, no, no, that's enough. But after the 3-day time release delay period, the testosterone goes back up again. So it's basically like having female puberty for 3 days and then male puberty for 4 days every week. And then people say, she's unhinged. No, honey, I'm just going through a fire and water war inside myself, trying to break free of the demiurge's bastardization of my life. Let's not forget, the previous times I was here, they weren't very fond of me. So, um, I'm going to be doing things a little differently here, and I'm telling you because I'm giving you a divine opportunity to get your heads out of my butt and to stop harassing me. Because the next step I take will be to value my worth, which I'm well aware of, and I have given to you freely to benefit from so that your species could evolve. But considering throwing pearls before swine creates slime, I seem to have been doing more damage than good by being kind to you guys, most of you. So I'm not going to be sharing stuff about my life here anymore because you guys have literally made multiple Netflix TV shows, which if you've been with this channel, you can go through Netflix and you'll basically see my life story scattered throughout the entire thing. That's not delusion, that's actually fact. Look it up. Um, I've given you guys enough and I've gotten nothing back. I'm not even allowed to have monetization on this channel. I'm not allowed to go have a 9 to 5 Caesar job. I'm not allowed to, I'm just not allowed. And I'm supposed to believe it's because of the Most High. No, honey. The Most High is the one that's been keeping me alive, well, healthy, and secure. With a roof over my head, food in my fridge, clothes on my body, warmth in my home, and friends and family scattered through the ethers. That once in a while they pop up like a shooting star and they're like, hey, we love you. And I'm like, cool, that doesn't pay the bills though. Bye. So I'm not going to open another platform. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm simply going to treat this like a job. And I'm going to create a video or two per day, depending on what source asks, says needs to be addressed. Other than that, doors closed. Because a lot of you keep thinking I'm talking about you. A lot of you think that my videos are pettily addressed towards you because you guys do that to me. I've even seen people mock me in ways that are just vile and are a total reflection of how their parents treated those people that are doing that to me. And they're just trying to scream out their pain and target it on me so that somebody knows how much they're hurting. Like, grow the fuck up. So I'm going to ask you guys this humbly because I've already spoken to YouTube and they have removed any of the spam subscriptions from my channel. I could show you the email, but I have nothing like they've removed the spam, they've removed the limits, they've removed whatever else that was blocking the channel. Apparently, according to them, there was a third-party program attached to my account, which was siphoning information to another platform every time I uploaded a video. And that's why one of the reasons why my system was shadow banned. One of them, according to them, but we all know that's not the main reason. So if you guys are going to actually be a part of this tribe, those of you who care about me as a person, not just a pinata, those of you who are here to learn, to grow, to evolve, to be part of a community, to support each other, to give advice, to smile, to do live streams together, to do free readings, giveaways, making things cool. Step up. Otherwise, get out. Thank you. Because I'm really tired of doing this with my life, which goes on TikTok, 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 TikTok every second that I'm alive, and it just goes. Doing favors and assisting people with wisdom I've earned just so that you can get money in your pockets when I get nothing. This hasn't been about money, and people have assumed it's been about money. Well, now it is about money. Because I've tried kindness, I've tried honesty, I've tried sincerity, I've tried authenticity, I've tried genuine care and affection, I've tried self sacrificing, I've tried martyrdom, I've tried being the villain, I've tried being the hero, I've tried being everything that I am already. And not many of you appreciate any of it enough to actually give back to the channel and this channel. So, no, thank you. I'm not going to be spending more than enough time to share whatever message for you. I'm not going to go into much detail. And from now on, those of you I catch doing shit are going to be called out. Full name, full channel link, called out. Because if you cyberbully me, I am within legal rights, according to federal law, to report you. It's within my legal rights. So it's not defamation of character. That's what you guys have done to me. It's not plagiarism. That's what you guys have done to me. You guys also used energy theft and directed energy weapons and cloning and divergence of energies and mirroring techniques and spellcraft, hoodoo, voodoo, witchcraft, santeria, and all sorts of other things to attack me. Just so you can have money to go spend at McDonald's while I sit here trying to figure out how I'm going to feed two mouths. It ain't right. Do you not see how the world is outside lately? Everybody needs help somehow, right? But nobody's really helping each other. It's like the situation with when I had to go get the orchiectomy so that testosterone and estrogen would totally balance out and I wouldn't make an overabundance of testosterone constantly. Nobody wanted to drive me 2 hours and 45 minutes west of my location to get to a hospital to spend the night there to have the procedure done. Nobody. Nobody. Not Uber, not a train, not a plane, not an automobile, not a friend, not a family member. Nobody gave a fuck about me and my future to take me to a hospital. So you'll have to excuse me if I pull back my wisdom and my grace and my light from the parasites. Those of you who intend to keep watching and benefiting, go for it. But start giving back. Because just like every other career person, every other business person, every other whatever else, I'm taking responsibility into my own hands, and I'm going to intend that those that watch this channel and they don't contribute, that their energy be utilized, that they spent watching whatever they were doing on this channel without subscribing, without liking, without commenting, without donating, without whatever method of giving back, that energy of theft from those parasites be turned into financial gain for me. I'm telling you this because I'm not afraid of it. You guys have all done this. You guys do this with crystals on your card tables, icons and sigils and chaos magic on your walls, behind paintings. And you guys do this with the jewelry you wear. You guys, most of you bless every bead with a different intention. Some of you have little treasure trinket boxes where you capture the souls of the people and you try to turn into demons while you're living. Like, you guys do all sorts of crazy shit. I simply intend to make certain I have enough food, money for shelter and survival. So if you're not going to support, leave because you're going to end up supporting me anyway. The reason why I've been asked to do this is because the more I create content for you that you steal from, the more I'm enabling you to steal. So from now on, if you're going to be stealing from this, anything you gain from stealing from my channel and my wisdom that I've earned will be redirected right back to me in my hand as money, tangible cash, with no interference from any of you. Those of you that watch and contribute and comment and like and are good people and you're here for wisdom to gain knowledge and to share and to help the collectives, I adore you. Some of you are silent. Some of you have accounts that say who you are and your celebrities. Cool. You have more than enough money. Time to help people out, not just me. Because that money that you guys are having, just like the world's experiencing these problems, inflation, and you guys are holding on to money when people need it. So the world makes the costs go up so you guys can go, oh, now this money we're holding on to is actually useful. A self-fulfilling prophecy. And then people are like, oh, the prices are so high. Yeah, but how much do you have saved up already that you're not spending or helping anybody with? God sees that. So if you have it and you're not spending it on the community, then I guess you're going to need to spend it on food for yourself. And if you're going to have to do that, then everybody's going to have to do it with you. So one person fucks it up for everybody. One billionaire with $80 billion is fucking it up for everybody, while I'm sitting here trying to figure out how I'm going to get $100 to cover rent. All because witch bitches and people that are called they and people behind technology and screens and cameras are manipulating my life to make me look like the villain so that their puppets that they've used to manipulate my life seem like the angels. But they keep forgetting angels fell too. God kicked some of them out because they were vile. Guess what some of those people did too? They blamed me. So what you guys are doing is a tale as old as time. And I was there when time started. So, if you're going to continue to pretend that we're working together as a collective, then I am asking humbly that you treat me like a living being with respect. If you cannot, I ask you humbly, leave and go somewhere else. Because I will not be a doormat any longer to people who waste money I could be using to take care of my family, but they're wasting it on things they donate away after a week, or they throw away, or they eat it and shit it away. While I'm sitting here eating one meal a day, and the money they gained is off of the misery I learned from. So I'm just sitting here surviving to benefit you guys so you guys never have to go through this, and barely any of you are turning around and saying, let us help you. And you guys call yourselves divine. No, I will not be part of this anymore. I will not. I love Jesus too much. I love God too much. I love the universe and ISIS too much to sit here as a messenger from the holy realms, the sanctified realms, and be abused by the children of the Most High. I cannot say forgive them for they know not what they do, because you know what you do. You wrote a handbook on it. I can't say, oh, it's okay because I just have to help them. It's my duty. No, that's victim mentality. That's martyrdom. I can't complain at you because then it's like, oh, look, she's going crazy. Nope. I'm simply going to tell you the way I've told you. Are you a parasite or are you a community member? Doesn't matter if you're part of my community or not. But enough is enough, my loves. I'm a living being. There's a heart in my chest. I bleed. I feel pain. I feel joy. I get hungry. I get horny. I take a shit. I pee. I sleep. I walk. I cook. I have self esteem issues. I I'm stuck in a body with genitals that are literally damaging my entire life experience. I have no friends or family that I can rely on, really. And I don't see anybody inside this house unless somebody from my family visits once a month to bring a box of noodles and baked beans. Like, this is my life, and you people think I'm sitting here doing crazy shit. And I learn from all of this, and I share the wisdom I've learned, and you guys steal it. Enough is enough, don't you think? So I'm going to go. I truly intend you guys have a wonderful, enlightening, and clarity filled day. I intend that you guys find your kindness within you and your self respect so that you can be better than what you are, no matter where you are. And it would be really nice if you guys can stop fighting each other and fight the entities forcing you to fight each other. But I mean, pipe dream, right? And for those of you who are like, oh, throwing money at the problem won't save it, like somebody in my family did, let me break it down for you. Because throwing money at it is exactly what solves it. $931 a month, $500 for rent, bills, etc. $400 left each month, right? $400. Now, $50 per week if I budget everything accordingly and only get the basic bare necessities: milk, eggs, bread, butter, veggies, and fruits. Not even cooking oil, no hygiene product, nothing. Those things cost me more than $50 a week at Piggly Wiggly. So we're estimating roughly $60 to $80 per week just to pay the cost of basic breakfast food from a grocery store that I'm only allowed to go to because I don't have access to go anywhere else. So that's 80, 60, 240, $320 just on food because of the prices at this grocery store. And then I have $80 for soap, toilet paper, shampoo, conditioner, cat food, vet costs, floor cleaners, spray cleaners, sponges to clean dishes with, and then doing laundry. And then to do laundry, it costs me $1.75 for a small basket you get at a Dollar Tree sized washer, like a basket of clothes that's like really small that you buy from the Dollar Tree. That's how much the machine holds. And then $1.75 to dry the clothes. So it's roughly $3.50 to dry the clothes and wash them together, one basket at a time, which roughly holds 2 to 3 pairs of jeans, 2 to 3 shirts, 2 to 3 pairs of underwear, some socks, maybe a jacket. If I want to wash the blanket, I have to drive to Illinois, have somebody pick me up, drive to Illinois, go to my parents' house, and use their washer, which can actually hold the size of the blanket. And it's just a blanket like that, which means then I have to pay money for gas and their time spent driving me back and forth. Where is all this money going to come from? I haven't even bought tobacco or weed yet. I haven't bought frivolous things like trinkets and jewelry or anything else. This is just basic things with what I get from Social Security disability income. And you guys think I have time or money to do what? Like, cut the bullshit, you guys. And then all this stuff about me being an evil witch and whatever. Do you have any idea how many times in my life people have mocked me to be a witch because of my nose? Do you know my nose was like this until it got broken by a dog? A giant German shepherd tackled me while I was on the bed, turned around like this, fixing something in my bed. And I turned around and the dog went whop with its paw because it was trying to grab something, play or some shit. And it broke my nose. And no one took me to the hospital to fix it. Prior to that, my nose was always longer. So I was called the Joker. because when I would smile as a child and my teeth were all fucked up prior to these dentures, which are absurd. Thank you, dentist, who was bought and paid for as well, and then designed these. Class act work. I'm glad you took that oath. So when I sat down to budget all this, all I need or would need is $500 to $600 to put down on a car payment, a deposit to buy a used car, $200 to $300 for the license, registration, whatever extra fees, right? So like $800, $900. $100 to $200 to get my new ID and name change papers so that I don't run around as William and get arrested for having a false ID. And then 300 to 400 to put aside for gas and insurance. And then like the rest of it, like 200, 300 for to catch up on like old bills and things. So roughly with $2,000, I could completely change my life. Because I could take myself to a doctor. I could go somewhere and look for a job somewhere else in a different location. I could drive myself to a different grocery store and one of those ethnic ones that have cheaper food and veggies. I could go to another doctor and adjust my hormones. I can go to another dentist and get better dentures. I could actually go to a store and drive myself and buy myself clothes and underwear that fit. I could go to a hospital and drive myself there to have my orchiectomy procedure done so that I don't have to inject myself with hormones or suffer from male sexual characteristics all over my body so that I feel like I'm in a fucking Sasquatch suit again that's killing me from the outside in and inside out every time I look in the mirror. Oh, and then the other kicker, these people being like, oh, look at the man in the mirror. Like, bitch, I've been looking at the man in the mirror my entire life and I've hated him every fucking day because this body was mutilated at birth. I was genitally mutilated at birth to be male. I was an intersex, non-binary, whatever the fucking term is. They sealed the vaginal cavity up, which is why I have ovaries and testosterone and testicles. They never let the fucking period blood escape, which is why I have PCOS. And my genitals aren't really whatever they're supposed to be. Which I find so fucking amusing that people have attempted to rape me. Like, what do you think you're gonna do? Create a child out of me? Like, what the fuck? And then all the stuff I've been through my entire life, from the war in Iran to the bullshit in Germany to the bullshit here in Chicago and then here in Wisconsin. And in all the relationships and all the financial issues and everything that's been stolen from me and manipulated. And throughout all of it, I've sat here praying to Mother Mary, Jesus Christ, and Gaia, and Father God, and Mother Goddess. Every single day, with every breath, my entire life is a living prayer. And then I get told, connect with God. And then I get told, it's trials and tribulations from God. How is it that you're telling me what God is telling you to tell me without telling me first? If it's to me, why isn't God telling me him or herself? Usually, when I'm giving you guys advice, it's usually predictions that come true 100% of the fucking time. And the rest of the time, it's stuff you already know because I'm reading your current energy. So, how is it that you people think you have the qualifications, the status to tell me to connect with God when every single one of you are awe inspired by my connection to Source? And I've taught you what you know about your connection to Source. If nothing else, I've helped you enhance it. Check yourself and sit down because it's getting real tiring. being cordial and civil with people who have no respect for themselves, their mothers, their fathers, or their children. God might be your teacher, but are you learning? That's it. I expect things to improve between all of us. If you have a problem with me, leave because you love yourself enough to do so. If you enjoy my company, click subscribe, click like, comment, be a part of the community. If you do not do that, please leave because you're just a lurker or a stalker or a cross watcher or a they. You're not welcome here. And those of you who actually support and love, thank you because I wouldn't do this if you guys weren't there. There's like a handful of you that I know, like outside of YouTube, but still on the internet. And every time I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore, God. I'm like, if I stop doing this, then the people who actually need it are going to be missing out on the wisdom because of the people who are trying to profit from it. So I've already done the prayers, I've already done the intentions. I haven't done any spells because I don't use witchcraft, Wicca, paganism, Satanism, Luciferianism. I don't deal with any of it. My magic comes from my soul and my heart and the universe and the tapestry the universe is connected to. I do not worship gods. I do not work with demons or entities. I work with Christ. I work with Mother Mary. I work with the source field. You can call it whatever you want, but if it's a being that has been personified, the only two I work with are Jesus and Mary in all their faces. That's it. I work with what I see. I work with what I feel. I work with what I know. And I work with my creators. So stop making yourselves look like fools by telling people that I'm doing so and so when it's you guys doing it. Because when the lights come on from up there, you guys are all going to be seen for what you are. I'm already seen for what I am. So please and thank you. Because we're all grown adults here, or we're supposed to be. Some of you have children, some of you are grandmothers. None of you would survive a day in my shoes. None of you. And I'm not saying that to be egotistical. I'm saying that as a plea for assistance from the universe. None of you can go through what I've been through because it's a path meant for me. Stop trying to be me. In addition to that, considering we are all on different paths, and I have shown you the respect of supporting all of you, including those of you who have betrayed me, the least you can do is show kindness or stay silent and leave. That's the least you can do. If you cannot do that, just leave. Because if you continue to stay on this channel while feeding this channel negative energy or profiting from this channel's content, you are a thief. Self-made. And I love you enough to come to you now with this warning sign from the heavens themselves, internally and externally, above and below. Stop painting yourselves as thieves for more than a century in the lives of the people who are here to help you. I'm not expecting money from you. I'm not expecting likes and donations and all that other shit. I don't care. I'm asking you for you because I love you, whoever you are. Stop stealing. And if you're here on this channel hearing these words and you benefit somehow, share something for the other people. Pay it forward. I will not be used as a product of the internet or the world where people can come and fuck it and take it and beat it and gain money out of it. I am not your cosmic pinata. Are we clear? Thank you. Now I'm going to go and get myself some coffee. And is this thing still in my hair? Jesus. I'm gonna go. I hope I scared the little bitches enough. Like they think I'm an amateur. Like I've been doing this more than 100,000 fucking years. You guys are literally still replicating the fashion I brought to you previously in the previous incarnation. You guys are still painting images of me and growing your eyebrows in my way and doing your makeup and putting flowers in your hair and doing all sorts of shit. And I'm getting no thanks and I'm sitting right in front of you again after 100 years. And you guys are like, no, that can't be happening. But I'm right here. No, no, no. She's crazy. It's funny because Diego knows I'm not crazy. Guillermo knows I'm not crazy. Isn't that funny? But the people that think I'm crazy are the people who refuse to see what they're looking at. So I don't have my contacts in. You saw I don't have any makeup on other than the residue from that cheap ass eyeliner. Do you recognize me yet? Mi amor. I know you do. And I know some of you too. Not by name, but by energy. Do yourselves a favor. Attempt to be remembered by my soul with more dignity. Because I can count on one hand how many of you have been kind to me in 43 years, and that's a problem.